Alright, so this is going to be a rather informal video. There's no script, there's no rehearsing, there's no real planned footage, but my god, I'm making this sort of kind of like an old school rant. Thing is, I'm pretty damn pissed at Riot lately. Their latest Riot Please has a lot of Reddit piss. A lot of people are very concerned. Basically, they talked about solo queue and dynamic queue, sandbox mode, and their plans for the future. The thing is, though, I'm not going to talk about solo queue or dynamic queue. Tons of people have made videos on that. People are pissed. Everybody already knows how everyone feels. I want to focus on the sandbox mode because one fan posted something that made me really, really sad. It wasn't anything bad, like, an insult or anything. It was just kind of heartbreaking. I'll go over that in a second. Thing is, sandbox mode was requested a few months ago, or at least the requests were made more prevalent, and Riot responded saying they have no plans for a sandbox mode because it might increase toxicity and some other bullshit reasons. Basically, Reddit let them have it because that reason was stupid as hell. People will say, "Oh, you go back to sandbox mode." That's just dumb. They'll insult you for whatever reason there because people are assholes, and no matter what, they'll be assholes. So Riot recently also just sort of backtrack on that, saying, okay, we will give you a sandbox mode, but it's not our top priority, so eventually you'll have it, which with Riot's language, we know that probably means never. Considering they promised solo queue and that never came, considering they promised replays that never came, considering they practice even just really fan requested stuff like Dragon Tamer, Dragon Master Swain, that shit never came either. Hell, it's sort of embarrassing that we don't have a sandbox mode. Hell, like a fan said, even Smash Brothers Nintendo 64 had a sandbox mode, a training mode. So Riot finally said they're going to have one, but it'll come sometime in the future. I don't doubt that it might be actually pretty good and like the standard that other games like Dota and Heroes of the Storm have, but still, it's kind of sad that we don't have one for now. And it's actually important. I'll explain why. Now, a thing the fan said that made me really sad, like actually really sad, was that he feels bad about playing the game because there's no way to practice. He doesn't know how he can improve because when he goes into a game, he just gets stomped. When he goes into the bots, it feels like the bots aren't even trying hard or doing anything like that helps him. It's true. I was practicing Lissandra several weeks ago, and for a long time, just trying to get her down because I needed to increase the number of top lane champions I have, and the bots are just not good. I mean, I know like building good AI is difficult, but there's no other avenues to practice her. When I go into a custom game, like I have to wait for cooldowns to come back for me to practice anything fancy. I've been practicing her E flash ult initiation, but it just like if I fail it at any point, I have to wait several minutes for my cooldowns to come back before I get to try again. So the poster, this commenter, this viewer was getting disheartened. He just said there's no way for him to practice. Like, yeah, playing the game helps you get better, but if you're not learning any good habits, then you're only practicing poor things. You're if you can't do the combo, you're not practicing the combo, so you'll never actually get good at the combo. It's like it's kind of sad. Riot has no good tutorials. I tried the tutorial again the other day, the Ashe tutorial. It still tells you to buy a goddamn Thornmail. It's basically the original beta tutorial overlaid on the new ARAM map, or the quote unquote new Howling Abyss map. So they really haven't improved it. I know they have the Summoner's Rift tutorial, but that's still pretty shit as well. The thing is, with the sandbox mode, being able to manipulate your cooldowns, being able to manipulate any factor in the thing, you can try the combo over and over. Or you screwed up, refresh it and just try it again without wasting time. Like there's several moments where I've been wanting to practice shit like Lee Sin's kick, but I just can't get it down, and then I have to wait for the cooldowns. It's frustrating, and it just makes me not want to try the goddamn thing. So you have a lot of moments where people who've never played a champion go into a full-blown game, ranked or normals, and just wing it. They don't have a choice. They just try to wing it. And I know some people will say, well, even if there's sandbox mode, some people will do that. Yeah, but some other people will be a little too ashamed to just force themselves to play a hero in normals that they'll probably try in sandbox mode. So that would really help out a lot of people. And the fact that Riot doesn't have this is shameful. And the thing is, I wouldn't be so damn pissed about this if they didn't at least have some better tutorials. Like, yeah, you can go to YouTube and find things, but this is the other portion of his comment that made me sad. Personally sad, and I sort of felt a little bit shameful that I kind of sort of forgot it too, forgot to maintain this. He said that a lot of YouTubers, they do have tutorials and things to help people out, but they're no longer focusing on the lowbies, the people who simply are new or don't know things. Like, and it's true, a lot of the YouTubers that I've been watching, including myself, the videos we've been making are just focusing on like people that already know. We're using language that only the more experienced players will know. We're not, explaining things as thoroughly as we used to. We're not going through low-level games and breaking them down or pointing out bronze and silver notions. We're just going, here are the best champions. Here's what you need to do. Look at this complicated shit we're talking about. And it just made me sad. It's like, yeah, no one is helping them out. It's not even Riot, who's right now doing everything in their power to help out players get back into the game because of how it's sort of peaking right now. They're not helping the newer players get better at the game. It's like if they want this game to be healthy in the long term, they need to just have a foundation for them. More tutorials, more access to the people that can help them, just some shit like that. And sandbox mode, I know it isn't like the best thing to help out the newest of players, but the fact is it kind of started me on this whole little rant. The fact is that sandbox mode is at the highest peak, and there's nothing below it. Anyways, going on to I know you guys fucking hate Dota. I know that. A lot of you don't like Dota, and you guys hate me talking about it. But look at Dota's goddamn sandbox mode. I can pick any hero I want. I can even try any skin that I don't even own and go into the game with it. And once it loads in, you can manipulate almost every little factor. The only thing you can't really manipulate is the opponent you kill, which doesn't really matter all that much. I can level up my character. Right? I can level up my character how I feel is necessary. I can buy any item, sell it at will at any point in this little thing. I can spawn an enemy. I can level him up. I can spawn a shitload of enemies too and do some really stupid things. But look, if I use my Q, it's on cooldown. If I click this button, it's refreshed. If I put 3 spells, I basically go into like ultimate Earth mode, and I can spam it forever. I can make myself invulnerable, but that one really isn't all that useful because you're not trying to, be immortal. Anyways, the thing is, Nyx Assassin has his combo is not that difficult, but it's a very animation sensitive one, so you can screw it up rather easily. You wouldn't want new players to just play him and then screw up his one hit wonder kind of combo thing. It's like if they don't do it properly, then he won't kill anybody. It requires like this little tiny finesse and patience, and even then I kind of screwed it up because I could have snuck in another auto attack at some point. So, even better, I get to do this. I can select a new hero, and then just in the same little room I was in, boom, there, I got my new hero. I can practice him. And speaking of practicing, this is the hero that I needed to practice the most because I kept screwing up his initiation. Because I didn't understand how to use Blink Dagger, which is this game's flash. I didn't know how to use it properly. And now thanks to this, I get to just spam it all I want and practice the ranges and practice the initiation. Like, I get to practice this guy's ultimate and use it properly, not fuck it up, and just sort of get the hang of him. Thanks to the sandbox mode. Let's say if I was a new player and I saw the initiation and I want to pick it up, the range, I may screw up the range and just like not get it perfectly. Well, I kind of got it perfectly there. But like, I can try like, oh, must initiate. And I only hit 2 people. But thankfully I can, since the cooldowns are, the cooldown of this will normally be nearly 3 goddamn minutes. Imagine if it was League, I'd have to wait for that amount of time. But thanks to this game, or the sandbox mode, I can refresh it and immediately just try it again anyways, and just do it properly. It's just baffling, like, that we don't even have this kind of shit. A game that makes billions of dollars doesn't have the sandbox mode, among other things, but I'm focusing on the sandbox mode, that would help players, including me, veterans since beta, practice things. I tried Lissandra after playing him, after practicing him her several times in game, in custom games. I tried it with real friends, with real players, a 5v5, and I sucked because I just didn't have the practice in a real environment to use her abilities properly or any of that kind of stuff. So it was embarrassing. I didn't do properly, and it discouraged me from playing her again. In the sandbox mode, I get to actually practice it. Hell, there's even another step up that this game has. You can make bot matches, and you can put the strongest bots. Sure, they still suffer from basic AI problems such as like weird decision making there and then, but insane bots are ridiculously brutal. League bots are basically idiots. These insane bots can beat veteran players simply because of how audacious they are. So, again, the whole premise, or the whole reason I'm pissed, is just that these new players, or hell, even experienced players, don't have any proper avenues to practice except suffering a real game and basically forcing everyone to deal with someone who wants to practice a hero. Again, thankfully, you know, I'm past the point where I'll yell and make all these ridiculously inane comments. But I hope some of you understand why I'm concerned with the game in this regard. You know, stun it. I just feel Riot could do a lot more, but they just aren't willing to. That's my biggest issue. And I know, you guys hate Dota. Hell, look, I didn't even know it did this. It tells me all the combinations for this character so I can practice it, considering this is one of the more harder heroes to actually learn, and a lot of people screw his ass up. But yeah, I know it's a rant video, but tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, have you felt that Riot has given you any proper avenues in practice? What Riot can actually do to give players, you know, better teaching devices and whatnot? Because I already mentioned, Riot just has let me down, has let pretty much the player base down with all this recent comeuppance or issues. Anyways, thank you for watching this pretty, like, mostly mildly angry rant. It wasn't as angry as I thought it would be. Mr. Lassie, yes. Anyways, see you guys later.